Welcome back to the live stage at Emerald City Comic Con 2019, right here in Seattle, Washington. It is day 4. How's everybody doing out there? Good. A lot of energy still left to go. That's awesome. Are there any Overwatch fans here?
All right.
That's good to see. That's good news because my guest is someone who you may recognize from that game and from other games and other areas of the entertainment world. Johnny Cruz, the voice of Lucio, of course.
What's up, guys?
There you go.
Beautiful faces.
So, looking back on coming into this role for the first time, you'd been plying your trade as an actor for a while. Did you have an impression going into the audition or coming out of the audition that this was going to be something a little bit different or that this could be something a little bit bigger?
No, not at all. Because
it felt like an audition.
It was a regular audition that came in just in my email, and it was under a code name called Prometheus. So you're like, I don't know what this is, but that happens all the time. So it literally had 5 lines you had to do, and then it had a description of the character, and it had a picture of a Latino boy who was like 17. He had a skateboard and a hat, and it didn't look like Lucio at all. It was a human person. And so you're like, okay. And then it has a description. He's cool, fun-loving, and like encouraging, you know, the kind of cool dude you want to hang out with. And I was like, okay. You do it and forget all about it.
Yeah.
Took 10 minutes, you know, to do it.
Remember what the lines were even you had to say?
Well, one of them I remember was, look at this team. We're going to do great, right? And that was like one of the longest ones. And I was like, I really need to nail that. I really need to make people feel that they're going to do great. And so I just remember being like, if I had somebody on my team that was like encouraging and not annoying, what would that sound like, you know? And they were Lucio.
That's a fine line to walk there.
It's a fine line to walk.
Yeah. Were you a gamer at all before this?
I mean, growing up, that's all I did was play Nintendo, PlayStation, day in and day out. But then at some point, it was like, I should go out and get a job. And so, and at this point, gaming wasn't, you know, as prolific as it is now. You know, they're like, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with gaming? Now you can do a whole lot, yeah. Mom.
Exactly. All those thumb blisters were worth it.
Yeah. So, but I was into a lot of RPGs, and Zelda was like one of my favorite games. Because I like a game where I could just do whatever I want, when I want, at a slow pace. So, yeah.
Take your time with it. So so you get the part. When did it hit you how big a deal this game was?
Well, I remember getting the email that Blizzard wanted me for Overwatch. And I was like, when did I audition for that?
Right.
And then I had to track back. I was like, oh, that was that thing I did that one time.
Were you familiar with Blizzard, the name Blizzard?
I was familiar with Blizzard, but my roommate used to play a lot of Warcraft. And it cut to me like putting it all together. There was this video he showed me way before the audition of the gameplay, right? And he was like, look at this new game from Blizzard. It's gonna be crazy good. And I was like, wow, that looks amazing. And then so I was like, wait, is that the same game? So I went to him and I was like, hey man, I'm in Overwatch. And he was like doing something. He goes, what? What? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, chill out. And that was like an inkling of like, oh, this might be cool. But then when the game came out, it was this interesting phenomenon where a lot of people were playing it. So another one of my friends was like, he came up to me and he was like, Johnny, I've never cared about anything you've ever done, but Overwatch is amazing and I'm a fan.
Thank
you. I was like, all right, man. And then when we would go out, people would be like, oh yeah, this is Johnny, he's Lucio in Overwatch. And he'd always be like, really? And then they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. And then I'd be like, what's going on, man? You okay? So that started to happen more frequently. And then it wasn't until I released that video of us, the actors at BlizzCon, kind of like hanging out with each other, I sent that out on Twitter, just being like, oh, here's a fun thing. And that got millions on millions of views. And I was like, what is happening? People started recognizing me on the street. You're Lucio, can I get a picture? I was like, I was a voice in a video game.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? So it was like this slow progression of like seeing this world, like, and then I started getting invited to conventions. And I was like, why?
Do you get voice recognized on the street? Like if you're just ordering a burger and someone's like, oh my God.
I was in Dubai and I was talking, and I guess I was all hyped up, and somebody was like, hey man, you sound like Lucio. And I was like, I am.
Dubai.
Yeah.
That's
And he was
amazing.
like, yeah, in Dubai. It's all over the world.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was a phenomenon that just blew up everywhere.
I mean, as someone who started out in film and areas like that, is it weird that it's a video game that's kind of brought this level of exposure for you?
I never in a million years did I think that would bring me this kind of attention, right? I've been.
It's day 4.
I
we all
did.
get it. Yeah, yeah.
I did Twisted Tunes yesterday, and I did an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger, just all. So I lost my entire voice, but it was worth it. So the question was
About it being video games that have brought you
Right, so-
at this level.
I mean, I've been acting for 18 years, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And I would do a project and I'd be like, this is it, this is gonna hit. But anytime any video game came in, I never really like thought about it much. They didn't pay well, so I was like, okay, let me do this thing.
Yeah.
But as this has taken off, you see this really deep connections that the fans have, right? If we watch television, we might watch a season, and that's like 12 hours. Some of these fans are playing the game for hundreds of hours with your character, and you're with them every day. And then I was like, I really started to see this connection of like multimedia being such an effective connecting medium. So now I've been looking at it in a whole different way, you know?
So I read an interview with you where you talked about some of the unique challenges that came with Prototype of like, now you're getting your arm ripped off and this is what it sounds like. What were the unique challenges of crafting the voice work you did for Lucio in Overwatch?
I think the biggest thing is sincerity, right? It's
Yeah.
like, how can I make this as sincere as possible so where when you hear it, you feel this level of, I could do it, or I feel the truth coming out that you really want me to do well, and what does that really sound like? And in my life, it was like, I've had these conversations with my friends. I've been like, telling them, dude, it's possible, man. You just gotta do it, you know? So that was a big piece of me. So how could I pull that into Lucio and make people feel what, you know, some of that inspiration sometimes my friends feel, and I'm very playful, so how do I put that in there without any judgment of myself and just give it, right?
Yeah. Have you considered a future as a motivational speaker now that you've got this Lucio dialogue and positivity going?
I think it's by nature, I just kind of am that,
Yeah.
but I haven't really put together a business plan.
You gotta get on that. No, so who would you say among the cast is the best Overwatch player?
Player?
Yeah. Have you guys competed?
Well, Josh Petersdorf
Yeah.
is Roadhog. He's crazy good.
Yeah.
Charlotte's
How good are you?
way good too. Way better
How good are
than
you
me.
at the game?
Say that?
How good are you at the game?
I would say there's good and then there's me.
But the positivity is always there. That's
Yeah, no, I can do it.
Yeah. So now
But-
that you kind of own the character as the actor, is there a collaborative process that comes to any dialogue that gets recorded from here on out? I mean, in terms of what they bring you dialogue-wise versus what you're able to bring in?
I mean, it is really collaborative to find the right feel for each line. And sometimes we do a little bit of improv and they'll be like, oh, that's it. We'll use that, you know. have a beatboxing line that's in there that I just kind of did, and they're like, "Got it, we'll use it." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a musician now."
But you are a musician, right, in real life?
Yeah, I mean, I play guitar, but what I've really loved is people using Lucio's voice and making music, because now I'm a musician.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, is that purely coincidence that Lucio had the musical angle and you were also a musician coming in?
I mean, I think Lucio's very rhythmic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think me as a person, like, that's just me on a constant basis with rhythm and music. The way I talk, sometimes I'm always looking for the rhythm of the character. And so I think there's this rhythm we could talk in that's very attractive in different forms. And I think he has that. There's like a flow he has with the music that I think I was trying to put in there as well.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the fandom, right? Because Overwatch has a very dedicated fandom, as we can see from some people out here. What's your experience been like interacting with fans in general? I mean, you go all over the world now,
right,
with this game.
I think I've been doing this so long as an actor, and I think the biggest thing is you hope that something you do will affect people positively, right? And when that happens, the outpouring of appreciation that happens has been overwhelming. To be appreciated for your work is, I think, always an actor's dream. But I think for me, and with Lucio in particular, the fans that he brings are so loving and positive, and I'm like, what a gift I get to have these type of people as my fans. My Instagram page is always just like positivity, like, thank you, and I'm like, this is overwhelmingly good. And I think for me, like, to come and just see you guys, I'm like always excited, because I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Has there been a fan interaction that stuck out to you as one that really took you by surprise?
You know, I think I was taken by surprise at how Lucio affected a lot of people. A lot of people would come up and be like, you know, before Overwatch, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends, and you know, I started playing Overwatch, and Lucio's just vibe kind of would pick me up and brought me out of this depression, and I started having friends in the game, and we would go out and hang out, and it's like, so they attributed like Lucio to helping them see the world in a better light, and I was like unexpectedly like, wow, and I got that a bunch.
That's awesome.
And so that was something that I just truly appreciate.
All right. So, and you're going to be signing here today, is that true?
Yeah, I'll be in the Regency signing, so
you can check out Johnny Cruiser. Thank you so much
Come
for
get some
joining us.
hugs.
Thank you for soldiering through with the throat. I really appreciate it.
No,
Talk to us.
it's gone, so who cares?
All right. And stick around next. Up on this live stage, we have Afua Richardson drawing live for Sci-Fi Wire's Artist Alley. Lots more to come. You can follow us on social. #ECCC. #It's a fan thing. More to come.